As you can see, it's a set of handles with a number of elastic type cords in here, and they'll be attached to a carabiner so which you can connect and disconnect 1 cord, 2 cord, 3 cord for beginners, intermediate, and advanced protocols. So the device will be used like this. You'll be used in the sitting posture like this here. The thighs should be at a slight incline, and it should be seated in the extraordinarily upright position. The device goes on the back of the neck, and the device is designed to have a contour to fit the curvature of the ideal neck or cervical spine. It'll go on the back of the neck, and it'll be down towards the shoulders, and it will not be upright except for in certain circumstances which we'll describe. The hands go through the handles, and they will be extended in the downward position toward the knees. If it's convenient, you can put your fingertips or hands on your knees for a reference point. The reason why this is so important, and I'll pivot on the wobble seat, is because we do not want the posture to be like this when we're doing the protocol. We want the posture in the upright position with this ideal curve in the lower back. Again, we do not want slumping posture. So the device will be used like this. We'll put it in the downward posture, extend it out to a tension that we can comfortably do, but obviously it is an exercise, so it should be requiring some effort. We'll be in the upright posture. The teeth or bite line will be level to the horizon in the protocol, the initial protocol, and you will be translating the head on a linear plane straight backward, and this will engage the upper neck muscles and also the lower back muscles, in which you will bring the posture back into an ideal upright position. And obviously, the further back you go, the more effort is required, the more muscular benefit that is achieved, and strength is achieved to hold you in the ideal upright posture. So the first protocol will be moving the head straight backward with the teeth up. Then you'll take a break, as I'm doing with the handlebars, and then whatever break time is necessary for you to give the muscles of the arms a break, you'll go back down in this position again, translate back all the way back again to your strongest point that you can achieve, and you're going to bend side to side, side to side. Some of these you can do with the chin essentially level, some of them you can do with the chin up. And you're going to bend all the way. This forces the neck curve, I'll show briefly, to be rotating back into the ideal forward curve of the neck. So if a person has spinal deviation to this side, it'll be forced to come to the neutral position. If a person has spinal deviation to that side, it'll be forced to come to the neutral position. It is an extraordinary, ingenious design. So pull the head back and train the neck to go through all of its ranges of motion around that ideal arc that is supposed to be, or forward curve, in the neck. And so, as I said, side to side with the teeth level, some of them with the teeth up, to get as much mobility in all of the planes of motion in the cervical spine as possible. Again, take a break, give the arm muscles a little rest, go back out, put the tension back on, keep that very strong upright posture, and turn left and right. Again, some of them with the teeth level, some of them with the chin up a little bit, but not too high. It's important not to go too high on the chin. There are some very complicated problems that can come into the cervical spine if the chin is too high. You can put it a little bit low as well and go through ranges of motion so as many planes of motion are achieved. can quickly let the handles come up and take the tension off to give the arm muscles a break. You'll go back out and you'll pull the head all the way back, and you're going to be running the chin up and down as far back as possible and far down as possible, and really stretch the back neck muscles. And obviously when you go back in the upright position, you're working, so you're exercising the muscles that hold you upright, but also you're stretching them. So muscles tend to become shorter and shorter and shorter if they're strengthened and not stretched. So this protocol, we do both. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to bring the arms up. We're going to hook the device right on the base of the skull and move the arms upward like this here. And we're going to open up the back of that skull that everyone seems to be so restricted by. And we're going to open that up and tuck that chin down against resistance. And again, quite firmly. And all of these exercises are done a little bit briskly, not too fast, not too slow. And this will stretch the upper neck. You can also take this and do this, with the head down, hooked on the base of the skull, and stretch those neck muscles very, very good. As I said, strengthening is ideal, but also stretching is ideal. You want tone more than short and contracted muscles. You want the inherent strength and tone, but you also want flexibility, which is achieved by the stretching protocols. Then we can again take the arms, let the tension come off, and give it a break again. Now we're going to take the device and we're going to put it up on the back of the head like this here, and we're going to hold the arms up and we're going to bring this straight back like this here, and we're going to bring that linear posture. When you do it up here, you're going to feel it much, much lower in the spine, down towards the lower rib cage and all the way down to the crest of the ilia or hips. And this is a very, very, very strong posture to exercise, strong exercise to bring the entire posture up into a high central position. Profoundly valuable. Now, in all spinal failure, the extension of the upper neck, the skull and the top vertebra, is essentially the initiating factor, initiating event of spinal systems failure. The skull gets locked into extension, the eyes are too high to the horizon, and the head goes down like this, and you end up with forward head posture, what everybody seems to be referring to as text neck. But again, in other videos, we'll explain that everybody in our culture essentially is affected by this process with not only computers, car driving, and reclining and all that stuff. You can also take this for the more advanced phases, pull the head back, and you could do this where you're going off to side with the tucking mechanism, and again with specific postural deviation patterns. In other videos we'll talk about one side being more preferable than another for different individuals under different circumstances and configurations. I also want everyone to know that we have had extensive research, not only in the exercise protocol, but verifying this on X-ray, both static and dynamic X-rays, to see how the entire spinal system is affected by this, and it is profoundly effective, and we have a substantial amount of objective evidence to verify this. So one of the things that we're talking about today is doing it, and as you can see, I'm doing it on this wobble seat, which is a profound tool. For some individuals, depending on how much function they want restored into the system, they could also expand their protocol to be used along with the wobble seat. So then, when we do this and we move the pelvis through ranges of motion concurrently, we can have profound effect on putting the entire spinal system through ranges of motion to start to rehabilitate it and get it to be rehabilitated in the most upright functional pattern in the human experience. We could also do very, very profound dynamic exercises to reestablish not only strength in the upright posture, but mobility and fluidity through all ranges of motion. In the other videos, we've shown where you do all kinds of dynamic exercises on the wobble seat.